What is up, everybody? This is Keith Jameson, Go Back Get Guy 231 across the DFS industry. It's a good Monday. We have a really exciting game, I think is fair to say, between the 49ers and the Rams. We got Odell's debut. I'll talk to that about that in a minute and why I'm probably not going to be on Odell. And just an overall ton of really good plays. I feel like so many of these that I've been on, which, are like the Thursday night games, you've been kind of struggling to find good plays, and there's definitely a plethora of them. So quick reminder, we are so close to 3,000. So if you've been watching these videos and you have not hit subscribe, please do it now. Also like, comment, it all really helps. Let's just jump right into it. So at the top, I'm not going to talk too much about Cooper Kupp and Matt Stafford, but I think that both of them are lock and loads. You can always make an argument to fade a quarterback in Showdown. I think it's a little bit tougher with the Rams because McVay does want to be so pass heavy. But yeah, I think it's just a really, really good spot for both. This is not the 49ers of past years where we're really worried about their defense plus the running game. Running game is still good. It used to be San Francisco was going to shorten the game with the run. Their defense was stout. That's not the same 49ers teams. They struggle. Now, I think where a lot of the lineups may differentiate is where you go from here. Jimmy G to me is a risk because he's just not playing super, super well. His numbers wouldn't show the same, but look, they got trounced by Colt McCoy, right, in Arizona last week. So Jimmy G's fantasy production looks good in the last 2 weeks, but real life production has not been leading to win in a game at home that they needed to win versus the Cardinals. So I think, Trey Lance whispers are getting louder. So I think it's really tough to trust Jimmy G in cash, especially, if you think about it, like the way that the 49ers are likely going to win the game would be establishing run. So I think that Jimmy G for me, it's fine in cash. I just think that, I would rather jump down for other options. Like I would rather go, with like a Kittle or an Ayuk. I think DEEBO Samuel, it's been amazing this year. And I know I skipped Henderson. I'll go back to it. But just while I'm on the 49ers, DEEBO Samuel has been amazing this year. His targets are off the chart. They will get him involved in a ton of different ways. That said, look for reports. Like, let's see if Jalen Ramsey shadows DEEBO Samuel. Jalen Ramsey hasn't been doing a ton of shadowing this year, but I feel like DEEBO Samuel, just knowing how integral he is to the 49ers, that could be a good time to start it. And if that's the case, that's a tough play, and Ayuk and Kittle would be big beneficiaries. Speaking of Darrell Henderson, he's definitely fallen off, right? 2 of the last 3 weeks under 10 DK. We've seen Sony Michel get into a little bit more of the backfield touches. Look, I still like Henderson. He's still getting some targets. He's going to get goal line work. He's going to get you 15 carries. But, if you feel like he's a little pricier, you want to captain Cooper Kupp, you're probably losing Henderson. So still fine play, kind of like Jimmy G. Fine plays, but I think maybe I prefer being more balanced. Like the bottom under the kickers, I think is really tough. So, spending up in 3 spots, at like 10K, 9K plus is really tough. Now, George Kittle finally looked like the athletic freak George Kittle that we wanted to see. 6 catches on 8 targets last week. We know that the Rams can be gotten by the tight end position. I don't even know if that's the way to say it, have been gotten. And Jimmy G really does love George Kittle. So I think 7,800 George Kittle, very, very nice play. I'm going to also just talk about Brandon Ayuk. I'm going to finish the 49ers, then I'll go back to the Rams. Brandon Ayuk is probably one of my favorite plays on the slate. Ayuk, former first rounder, truly is an athletic freak. We've seen them give him some carries. Remember what was last year, the Monday Night Football game with the crazy screen pass. So I really do like Brandon Ayuk. 15 targets in the last 2, 6,800 is a really nice play. And then if Ramsey does shadow DEEBO Samuel, huge boost for Ayuk. Elijah Mitchell, but they're really starting to struggle behind him, right? We'll have to see if Trey Sermon's active, but they haven't been wanting to give him work. James Wilson might be back, but Eli Mitchell has looked very, very good in 2 of the last 3 games. Obviously, the game flow got very, very wrong last game, and that would be your biggest concern with a guy like Mitchell is game flow, but he did get 5 catches and 5 targets. So I think Eli Mitchell, just a really, really safe cash play, which should be super popular. Similar to how, oh God, why am I blanking on KC's? I want to say Henderson, but I know it's Daryl. Is it Henderson? I'm blanking on KC's running back. Apologies. But Eli Mitchell, you know, in that price range where it's at home, it's only a 3-point spread. I think you play him in cash, maybe fade in GPP. Let's see, there's any more I want to talk about on the 49ers side. Robbie Gould, you know, certainly in play. Kickers kick, and you know they get points. I do think if you just watch, if we do see reports that Wilson's going to be backing up Mitchell at 1,200 just to load up on studs, I think he's certainly in play, but only in that. Kyle Juszczyk, if you want like just, you know, 1 to 2 targets, hopefully one gets into the end zone, that's fine too. All right, back to the Rams. We left out Odell Beckham. GPP only for me tonight. Shouldn't know the whole playbook. Van Jefferson's obviously a very good player. They use Tyler Higbee a ton. In my opinion, Odell doesn't go into the Robert Woods role. Odell goes into kind of like the Van Jefferson or the Deshaun Jackson role. That's like a deep field threat. Van Jefferson, who has now been in the McVay system for 2 years, is going to do a lot more of the Robert Woods stuff. They'll also use Higbee on those Robert Woods screens, things like that. So Odell, if it was cheaper, it'd be different. But I think I'm going to wait on Odell. I think his ownership might be too high too. I much prefer Higbee at 6,200, fresh off of 10 targets, right? So proven targets in the system, or Van Jefferson, who has just been go Gators first off, has been awesome the whole season, getting 4, 5, 6, 7 targets every single week, catching a decent chunk of them, 27, 433, and 3 touchdowns this season. He's only 5,400, so that makes a ton of sense. Michelle, GPP only, doesn't really have much pass game work. Not on either defense here with the 50 total. Matt Gay, I think, is almost a lock and load in cash. Matt Gay's just been awesome the whole season. Look at 12, 8, 9, 8, 9, 9, 11, 9, 12. Like, that's what we want in Showdown, especially for 4,200. So big fan there. Yep. And that will about do it. So I hope that all this helps. Oh, if you want like, okay. I was gonna say is Tutu Atwell active. That would be at least be interesting, but all right, that'll do it for me. I hope you guys do well tonight. Again, I'm going to be building around Stafford and Cooper Kupp. Then I'm between Ayuk or Eli Mitchell for my next piece in. So good luck, everybody. Thank you again for watching. See you.